All right, Squadron, it's been a while. I've been making all sorts of other video content behind the scenes on my vlog channel, started a whole new channel from scratch. But there's something that has been eating away at me that I wanted to talk about. So here we are, we're back again. I've been using AI for a while inside of VS Code on the side, basically like how I used to use Stack Overflow or Google, just answering questions for me because I don't want it to get in amongst all my stuff. Like it gets a bit annoying. I don't want autocomplete. I just, I know what I'm doing. I just get out of my way. But I also had this real weird feeling that I was being left behind when I listened to all the vibe coders out there and everyone who's just using AI. It's running agents and they're just not even touching the code anymore. Now, I've got a lot of things to say about this. So, I've been experimenting. And after listening to a Lex Friedman podcast with the creator of Claude Bot, Peter.
The one and only, the Claude father.
He has some really cool ways or have very interesting ways of thinking about how to work with AI. I wanted to show you today how I'm using AI and how I've changed my workflow. And you can see if that's something that's interesting to you as well. So let's jump straight in. Alrighty, Roo, let's go. So first things first, what I'm doing is I am running now. Finally, I have made the jump to Claude, right? Like I said, I've tried everything inside here. We're working on a decent code base. I usually just run here and I just chat, right? So like you've probably seen this, if you're in Cursor, if you're in VS Code, whatever, you can just ask questions. So I don't have agent mode on. I just ask questions of the code that I'm doing. So usually what I'm asking for is like, hey, what do you think of this variable name? What do you think of this model name? Can you help me do this thing in Ruby versus JS if I'm looking for equivalent methods? Basic stuff, Stack Overflow stuff. This isn't game changing, right? But it is useful. Like I do this every single day and I ask things all the time. You can see them there. There's a few requests. I'm always running Opus 4.6 at the moment, so like kind of the latest model, because the way I see it is, if you're going to use AI, get the best one that there is to answer the questions. Why are we spending time on the novices, right? So yes, it costs more money. Yes, you got to pay for it. But why waste your time on some crappy model? Because we know there's a lot of nonsense out there. And I equate it to is like, if you got a pick in your team of the junior to the top tech lead, who are you going to go ask the question for if you want it answered, right? I'm going to go to the tech lead. I don't know about you, but here we are. So for me, this has been a big switch, right? So I've now jumped into Claude Code. And I think after listening to this podcast with Lex and Peter Steinberger, and the way that Peter talked about using AI to write code really shifted my mindset, right? So like I was always like, it doesn't do a good job. Like just straight up, code it doesn't do a good job. It's crap. It makes mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But the way that he talked about it was he said, like, if you've ever managed a bunch of engineers, more likely than not, they kind of, especially if they're below you in seniority and they've been doing it for less time, they don't produce the same quality, which is very subjective, of code that you do, right? They just don't do it in that way. So you've got to spend a lot of time getting them up to scratch. But at the end of the day, there is a time where you just kind of have to let go a little bit because you're like, the project's moving forward. Yes, it's not exactly how I need to do it or I want to do it, but it's good enough. There's a point where it's like good enough. It's like that last 80 to 20%. And like over time, you can get these people there. And I've been in the same position, right? I've had a big team and like you kind of get to a point where like, I can fight this battle, but is it worth it? Or does it still work? It's still pretty good. It's still going to be maintainable. Let's keep moving forward. When you think of AI like that, I think it unlocks a whole bunch of things for you. And the same way that you sit down with a talented engineer, so that, like AI is very good at doing what it does. Like it's very good at copy pasting, it's very good at like figuring out patterns and all that stuff. That's what it is, the pattern recognition. So if you can understand like that and think about it in that way, it changes your mindset. And I think for me, that's all it was, is a change in mindset. So for me now, what I've done, and we've also seen a lot of people talk about this, is like giving it enough context to understand what's going on. What it looks like in practice is like sitting down with it and planning something. The same way that I would sit down with an engineer and go, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what it needs to do. And then going back and forth, figuring it out. They're like, oh, what about this? No, don't do this. Change like this. Think about this way. The same way we're doing that. Now I'm now doing this with Claude, right? So the key thing here is we got Claude, Shift, Tab, plan mode, all right? This is the game changer for me, right? And I know that Cursor and stuff has it, but there's something about writing in the command line, right? And DHH, or David Hanneman, who wrote Rails, also came to this conclusion quite a while ago. It's like running this thing in the terminal and kind of like say, do the junior work, right? Like do that stuff on the side and let me do the big boy thinking. You go and do that over there. It stays out of your way. Right? I think I really like this. And it's like in the terminal, there's something about it. Especially if you write code and you've been doing it for a long time. There's something about the terminal just makes you feel way smarter, doesn't it? But anyway, where do we go from here? So for me, sitting down here and doing this planning, it's actually the stuff that I've realized is what I like to do the most. It's the high level thinking. It's the thinking about how this works, how it scales, how does this fit in, what should we do, what shouldn't we do, right? So what I like to do now with Claude is I actually sit in here and I will plan out the feature. And why I got here was there's a big refactor. So we had the thing called, it was a platform sync, right? So what that represented was a sync in the system to go and fetch data and bring it down for analytics. That's what we were working on. I wanted to refactor this to a platform request because I found that we needed to start publishing. And now the sync terminology didn't really work. It's a naming thing. Like you could have left it and it would have been fine. But I was like, it doesn't feel right. And like, do this refactor now. So I spoke to AI. I was like, hey, what do you reckon? It's like, it's probably a good time with the amount of records. Like we just, pros and cons. I like using it as like a rubber duck. Like, rubber ducking. I don't know if you've ever spoken to it, where you just literally talk at someone and then you figure out this solution anyway. It's called rubber ducking. Look it up. I like to use AI for that. So what I said was, you know what? This refactor is going to take me a week. And it's basic, mundane stuff where we're literally just renaming variables. And the nice thing about AI is that it can actually go and find the variable names in camel case, in snake case, in, whatever you have, it can do it. It'll figure it all out. So I said, let's do that. So I ran like this. So I basically wrote the plan in here for it to do. Now, it did a freaking sick job and it also wrote the test. And that was the first little moment. I was like, this just did the work that a junior would take a week for. It's just done it in an hour. I used up all my tokens in one day. That's fine, which then it just forced me to upgrade, which is great. But it just really opened up my eyes and said, okay, this is really cool. But I'll show you here. So we were building a post-publishing system, right? So I was just working with it to figure out how to build this. And going back and forth in the terminal, really cool. And then we actually get this implementation plan. So by spending the time, like where I saw this was everyone talking about how the creators of Claude Code use Claude Code and how they actually do it. And a lot of people spending time in the plan mode. So this is like thinking about the high level stuff. And this is the stuff, like I said, that's super fun. From here, we just work through the context, the key insights, the data flow, figuring out all the things. So where I would say like, well, you need to protect against double posting. How do we do that? And then like all of the problems that I could foresee, I could throw it back at it. This isn't something you nail in one go. It's not a one shot. The planning should be back and forth. And you should, as you're thinking through things, you start defining them, right? So we've got like, it's starting to write out what it's going to do, the files that it's going to touch, what it's going to rewrite, what it's going to implement, what it's going to update, and all this. Now, it does all this, add the recurring job. And then for me, what I really like about the AI stuff is that it's not scared of writing tests, which a lot of engineers are, but it writes the tests and then the key files and then how to verify this actually works. Now, this is all super important, right? So once it's all done, you hit go and you just say, cool, let's go and run this. It does all its work. And this is where it gets really important to know what you're doing. Because from here, you can then go in. And what I do is I then review every single file. I know a lot of guys like, I don't even look at the code anymore. Yeah, cool, that's dumb, in my opinion. You go and look at the code because we want to still ship production level code. There are a lot of mistakes in there, right? There are a lot of things. Like if I was doing this with the normal engineer, I would be back and forthing and it's the review cycles. The nice thing here is I have context, so I can do this much faster now. So I can actually go through here and I check every single file and I go, hey bro, like you haven't used the method we created. Fix that up, refactor this. But it's so fast at doing that. And then as long as you know what you're doing, that's the thing, the key thing is like, as long as you know what you're doing, you can be very quick and you can do a lot of work. So this work, which takes a long time and it's purely because it's boilerplate, you're setting up files, just is way faster. It takes half an hour, job done. Then I can just go through and fix it up and tweak it to get it to the right place and critically think about it. But it just removes so much time. And for me, it's like someone who's been writing code for a long time. This is an unlock. I think this is where you see the power shine through, right? Is where you can actually do this. So I would say like, it's been one of those things that I've kind of avoided for a long time because I tried it and it just wasn't good. But it's getting better, which is really cool to see. And it's quite clever how it collects context. Now, obviously, the more context it gets, the more mistakes it makes. Like the most recent one, which is that I'm working on at the moment for fetching analytics, it's struggling. Like it can't one-shot it. I have to guide it a lot to get it right. So I'm constantly planning. And I just usually treat it like this. Work on one branch at a time. One thing at a time. Don't try and do 6 agents running at the same time. I just think the human brain can't multitask. So what makes you think you can jump between context windows constantly? You're just going to miss things. So I think we're not there yet. And like, I'd be interesting to hear in the comments what people think. But for me, I think it's very powerful to use Claude Code for planning. Just even that step for you, because it's so quick, it already sets you up to write better code. So if you can do the boilerplate, it's already setting you, and you're going back and forth with the questions and getting the right thing out. So I think it's very powerful with that. So I'm keen to hear, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Is AI going to take our jobs, or is it just going to make us more powerful? And then I'll leave you with this. I think it's like an analogy for me, which is like front of mind for me at the moment, is I jumped into an excavator on our property recently. I couldn't even friggin' rotate the thing. It's a very powerful machine, but I can't use it. And I could probably dig a hole, but it'd be disgusting and I'd ruin the rest of your backyard. You put a skilled operator in there and it's a completely different tool. And I think this is what AI is doing right now. Yes, you can create stuff if you have no skill, but it's crap. And you would not want to run someone's business on it. But as a skilled operator, I think you can then now take this and it just becomes, we can move faster. And it's the same as where like IDEs, like strongly typed in like C#, you can hit refactor and it refactors the whole code. This is what AI is doing now for any language. So I think it's super powerful. I think give it a go. And the one thing is, if you haven't used it yet, you haven't fallen behind. It took me 1 hour to pick this up and run. So go nuts. And I'm keen to see you guys on the next one.